Welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast. Here is Munir Lazouzi from easymedicaldevice.com. And today we continue our journey with the careers of people within the medtech industry from our series called From Zero to One. So here this time have invited Pardeep Kaur, who is the Regulatory Compliance Manager at the Oslo University Hospital. So Pardeep, welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, as said, Pardeep, we are inviting people to share or inspire or try to explain what they are doing so that maybe people that are listening say, oh, yes, I really want to do that. Or maybe, no, I don't want to do that at all. And this is really the objective of today. And yeah, previously we had an entrepreneur like Ivan Perashamoro. We had Stefan Bolaninger, which was driving a consulting firm. And now we have you as a regulatory compliance manager, but you have done other activities also in your career. So yeah, so maybe the idea is maybe to start about that. So if you had to introduce yourself to somebody, how you will describe you and your current activities also?
Yes, and first of all, thank you so much for having me, and I'm really happy to be here. And myself, Pardeep Kaur, basically my journey began from India, a village named Musapur in Punjab, and that's located in India, where I completed my schooling. And after that, I completed my Master of Science in Information Technology. So then, because I always has a interest in IT basically, so I was working that. And then I moved to Norway in 2017 for the broader exposure. Then I started to work as a research assistant at the University of Oslo, and where I was focusing about software development and programming. But in 2019, I stepped into MedTech. So
What was your motivation? Because yeah, I imagine somebody doing computer, maybe making some programs, learning Python, learning C++ or this kind of thing, or all the programming things. And one day you say, "Oh, I want to move to medical device." So what was this transition or this switch mainly here?
actually, when I was working with for example, programming and the software development, I was interested to know like how technology, especially like these digital tools, they could be applied to the healthcare. So then I discovered that medtech. So then I found that okay, that's a great opportunity. And then in 2019, I got the opportunity to work with the startup, and that was developing the robotics prosthetic hand. So then I find okay, I know the IT background, so because that was the biggest advantage. So then slowly, I was familiar with the terms ISO 13485. Then I was committed that I have to learn something to do something. So then I was familiar with MDR. I started to know about these things. So then I show more interest in QARA. So then I find okay, QARA is a fit word for me. So I will choose this field. So I came in it.
Great. I mean, yeah, because it's not really usual to move from this to that. But did your IT background help you mainly with this, or it's something that you had really to forget and you are ready to switch completely to regulatory affairs?
Yeah, actually, that my IT background, they really helped me because, I was familiar with the logic term, as you said, C, C++, or programming terms. But so for that, it was easy for me to understand the inside of software, to work with the software medical device. So that was the biggest advantage. So then it was easy to communicate with the developers, spot gap in technical file, and to bring a logical structure approach, a regulatory work. So that was easy to understand. Then I tried to learn with MDR, ISO 13485, 14971. So then it was okay to learn.
Great. So, in terms of your responsibilities now, so if somebody asked you, okay, now, oh, you are doing this kind of job, so can you share with me your day-to-day activity, mainly what you are doing within the day? Are you just behind the computer, or are you doing something more fun or more interesting, or what would you, how would you describe your day, typical day mainly?
That's actually a great question because as a QARA manager, my role is quite dynamic and touch many part of the organization because my day or my week they usually involve mix of activities. Most of the time, I review or preparing the technical documentation, risk assessment, design history file, or GSPR checklist, clinical evaluation. So I meet the regulatory with engineers and also because the training is also most important part. I have to train to my colleague. I need to help them so they can understand what actually I'm doing, so also they can understand the regulatory obligation, so how to prepare for the audits, so how to prepare for the GDPR, how to write the documentation. So all the day, so basically it's very challenging and exciting as well. Every day is different, but the common thread is ensuring the patient safety and product compliance.
So when you say training people so they understand what you are doing, so you have also this relationship where people, when you are telling them, oh, I'm doing something, you say, oh, I don't care, it's your job, so it's quality, so do it, and I don't want to hear about that, whatever. I mean, is this like that, or they are really curious about what you are doing?
Unearth the pulse of the MedTech world with MedTech Conf, a dynamic platform featuring global events on medical devices, biologicals, IVD, and pharmaceuticals. Stay informed, stay ahead, connect, share, and elevate your knowledge. Become an official sponsor, make your event shine on the map. MedTech Conf, your key to the MedTech universe. Remember, the future is now, and it's at your fingertips with MedTech Conf.
Actually, when people know, okay, what is CE marking? Okay, I'm here to make our product CE mark. So then they are more interested. Okay, so if she will do the work, so then our product can come in the market, right? So then are more curious to know. But who is, for example, doing the development part? So firstly, they don't know why I am here. So firstly, they think, okay, she's here, don't know why, but slowly when they know, okay, the depth of regulatory work, then they know, okay, so if she
Because
will follow the regulation, if she will say us to do something, we have to do it because I will say something relevant.
so, because the important thing is that how others are seeing us, or they are considering us within the company. So, have you seen that where the quality and regulatory affairs person were more seen as a internal police, that they are just here to give you the fines and tell you you are bad, you are bad, you are bad, you should do something else. So, is it how people are seeing our type of position?
That's true, actually. I have definitely heard that stereotype. Some people imagine that QA professionals are internal police. They are walking around with a checklist and saying no to everything. But honestly, that's the big misconception. In reality, our job is actually more collaborative and strategic. We are not here to block the innovations, actually. We are here to guide it safely through the regulatory landscape. We help them, like you should not create any risk, so we need to navigate the and compile or build the trust with the patient, user, and the regulations. So that's true that we have to deal with a lot of regulations, but every project is very different, stakes are high, so we have to think critically. But that's true that we make sure that rules are followed, but we are not the police. We are partner in problem solving, basically. So we are protecting user and making sure that great ideas actually reach the market.
And what would you say also to somebody that is because when you said at the beginning that your day activity will be to create technical files, create the documents, etc., and then also educate people on what you are doing so that they understand what you are doing. So, what would you say to someone that described this role as just a role of paperwork? You are just here to make paper and to sign them, and it's not really valuable. So, what would you say to somebody that says that?
For someone, first of all, I need to give them a proper training, actually, what I am doing, right? So when they understand, okay, what is quality management system? What is ISO 13485? What is MDR? So the value of these in our product, in our daily life, basically. So then they know, okay, the work she's doing, whether she's sending us a document to read, and we have to read it carefully, because that will be beneficial for them for in future for the product as well.
Okay, so are we then only working on paper, or are we doing something else?
No, we are not only working on papers, because if we talk about uh, like QMS, because if we talk about the past, like before that, QMS was on in paper as well, but now everything is online, as so we have some electronic QMS as well, and it's not only the paper, and we have to fill this regulation in the practical life as well.
Exactly. I say it's not just writing, it's also checking or discussing or putting in place or implementing. It's not just, I'm not just here at my desk writing some paper and then it's finished. Like accountants that are just on their table, Excel table and everything here. Okay, so that's good. So any tools that you are using on the daily life that you say, okay, for me as for my job, I would consider maybe those tools or those software or those things that you are rely most, if I can say, for your job.
Yeah. For us, like tools are the best friend because every day we have to do so many tools. If we talk about the risk assessment file, though, so Excel that I used for risk matrix, and if I talk about the QMS, so the QMS like green light grew and Colio and EQMS. So there are many qualified QMS that are qualified for FDA as well, and for SOP as well. And if I will talk about development, so there are some tools like Zira and DevRep, and there are many other tools as well, so that I basically use. And if, for the documentation control, I use SharePoint as well and Confluence as well. So these kind of tools that I basically use in my daily life.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, you have tools that can help you. So it's not like you are just alone doing everything. You have maybe some elements that can help you to do the job, and that can also has also to be compliant, if I can say, to the regulation here.
Yeah, because if we will talk about the GDPR, that we have to follow that. For that, we have to follow the tool that's called One Trust. Then we follow that. Basically, the main point is to structure and to accessible version control system, so that can support the compliance and collaboration. Basically, that's the
Yeah,
main.
and your current job is at the Oslo University Hospital.
Yeah.
So, what exactly are you doing? It's not a manufacturing, or it's a manufacturer, or how you see
Yeah.
that now?
So the Oslo University Hospital, where I'm working at the Department of Physics and Radiology for with the regulatory compliance officer. So where I'm responsible for or software medical devices, like the software name is Cronus, that we use to read the brain to track the data that we use with the MRI, basically for the growth to the day-to-day activities that we do. And to be compliant that software with the QARA, so I work to be compliant with ISO 13485, and then every day work with the checklist of GSPR, right, the intended use, classify the classification of device, and GDPR guidelines we have to follow. And because we are in Europe, we have to follow the GDPR guidelines. So all these things that I do every day at Oslo University Hospital, and I need to train to them as well. They are doctor, they are very expert, but the regulatory work, we have to tell them, okay, these are the guidelines that we have to follow. So I need to give presentation of what is ISO 13485.
Okay.
But because it's a software, so we have to follow 62304, that is a software life cycle. So I have to be familiar to them with the clinical evaluation as well, and usability engineering, and 14971 risk management. So I'm giving more presentation mostly every day so they can understand more what I'm doing actually.
Meet Alex. He needs to create an electronic instruction for use. With EasyEyeView, he uploads the document and in just a second gets a QR code. The code is printed on the packaging and shipped with the product. The user receives it, scan it, and the EyeView appears fast and always up to date. Simple, fast, paperless. EasyEyeView, the smart way to manage your EyeViews.
No, it's great. No, it's really great. So, what do you see now, or what is for you the most challenging aspect of your job, or maybe also the most rewarding? So, what's the thing that you say, I like this, but I don't like that? So, because as I said, people have to understand everything from what you are doing so that they know if really this is something for them.
Yeah. The most rewarding thing is that when you do your work, and finally when your product get C marked, and that is basically most rewarding thing. But as you know, the day-to-day activities what we do, that is also most rewarding when you prepare for the audits, when you prepare all the documentation for internal audits, for the supplier audits, and the day of audits, when you show that okay, that's the work that I have done. So that's the most rewarding thing actually. I can share one of my story with you, that it was my first job at High Five, and it was our first audit as well. So, and the day before the audit, I was reviewing the documents. I have to go through the thousands of documents. I've seen there is a bit mistake in the one document of supplier evaluation. I did that, and the same next day, the auditor saw the exact same document. I was like, thanks to that last moment, so I make the changes. And so that was the rewarding things, that when I complete my first audit with the 0 NC, so you can understand that is a rewarding thing.
Exactly. So, only rewarding, or there are some challenges also?
Challenges is every day. First of all, challenging is to shift in your mindset in MedTech. That's also a challenging. And for me, challenging thing was that the first time when I was doing MDR, that was also challenging, because it was a big change from MDD to MDR. But that was also new to me. I was new to job. So, but slowly with the passage of time, I got some online courses to learn about that, and then to know about the MDR courses, and to know about the documentation, created the gap analysis. So then that was challenging, but at the end of the day, I did it. So that was good.
Great. So I saw also your experience with the High Five Pro. So it was about developing a hydraulic prosthetic hand. So how was it to do this kind of thing? Because I think this is also kind of a visible product. It's not like an implant or something that an MRI or whatever, something that maybe you can see on patients and they are really doing this. So how was it to work on this kind of project?
Yeah, so as you talk about the High Five, so you know that when I first entered in the QARA role in Norway, so my first job that was at High Five, that was actually very exciting place to start. So that company was developing the hydraulic prosthetic hand to give the amputee a more affordable, functional, and the durable, you can say, alternative to traditional bionic hands. So it was actually a unique product with a combination of mechanical engineering, hydraulic, and electronic.
Okay.
So as a QARA, head of QARA, so I was responsible for setting up the entire QMS from scratch, aligned with ISO 13485, all SOPs, establish the document control system, and MDR 14971. So it was hand-on learning experience, because in startup environment, you are doing bit of everything. So from supplier qualification to internal audit to supporting the product development team. So I learned actually how to balance regulatory requirements with the fast-paced innovation. So that's typically in the early stage of MedTech. I really laid the foundation for my career in this field.
Yeah, and I suppose that, as you said, that when you are working for a startup, you are doing everything. Is it
Exactly.
good or is it bad?
Actually, it's in both ways, because you learn actually everything. Because one time you are watching the supplier evaluation plan, and another time you're watching the software validation or verification plan, and the next moment you move to update the policy. So it's good that you learn, you get the experience of every field. You are not stuck to one thing. You have knowledge of technical thing, design and development, production, supplier audits, management. So I think it's a good to know about everything. So when you will go to new place, so you can say, okay, I have knowledge of it.
I think it's more, maybe it's more advantageous than to start from a startup than to start with a big company, because within big companies, you are segmenting the job in multiple small tasks, and you give just this task. For example, we had a kappa manager within the company which manage only kappas during the whole day. We have a supplier manager who is doing just supplier management for the whole day, etc., etc., instead of doing everything. So I suppose it's better than to start with a startup to have a full view of everything.
Exactly, I totally agree with it, because when you are in startup, then you are the part of everything actually. So you are a part of production, you are a part of design and development, you are a part of management. So, but when you go to the big companies where you check that, okay, there is a one person who is working only with the ANC. If you will ask them about the another question related to management representative or management review, you can say, and they are not familiar with it. But I think in the startup companies, in the small companies, you learn a lot. Especially me, from my first company, I really learn a lot.
Okay. And because as I said, with those startup companies, you have small teams, I suppose, not like a huge team, small team, a lot of work to do all together, maybe some success, maybe some failure, etc. Any learning moments or any funny moments or anything that you can share?
Yeah, I can share the idea of a RemovAid company. That was my second company.
Okay.
That was also a small company, and the funny moment, we can say, the situation arise just before the major submission deadline. We were finalizing the technical documentation for the regulatory milestone, and suddenly we realized that a few essentials, that test report, they had formatting the issue and conflicting the version control. So it was one of those classic last minute document that was a chaos situation. So to make things more complicated, I was also coordinate the supplier audit, because at the same time I had some supplier audit, but I have to work with them as well. So I helped them. So we ended up staying late at the teams and ordering the takeout, fixing the documentation together. So checking everything, that last version control tag, and even the print out some file, because digital signature system that was acting up. So it was stressful in the moment, but also bonding experience. They remain how agile or how committed you are, and you need to be in the startup environment. And then I thought that in the teamwork, you really learn a lot, and also how to stay calm under pressure. So yes, then at the end we made the final submission.
I think we have all these moments, because when you talk, we have all these moments where we stay late at night and have some takeaway and reviewing file. I remember a moment we had a warning letter with the company, and we had an audit, FDA audit coming, etc. And the next day we had to show to them some DHR, and then we have selected DHR. Say, okay, we have to review them one by one to check everything if everything is okay. So everyone was taking a pack of DHR, and we open one by one. So, oh, here there is a mistake, or here there is a thing, or here. It was like a bit funny. And what was funny was great also is our managers or directors, senior directors, they were also there with us and doing also the work. So it was funny to see them. So, what are you doing here? It's like, but it was a great moment. So when you say that, it reminds me also some moments like that we have some good spirit or good commitments with all the team. So, but yeah. Stressful also. It's not like it's easy. It's funny or you memorable after.
Yeah,
But within the
exactly. It's
moment.
memorable after, but when at that time they're stressful, afterward is memorable.
So, any interesting because for RemovAid mainly, what you had is also it's an implant, I think. Also, what is it exactly they were doing?
Oh, that was at RemovAid. Yes. After my first company, then I joined the next company that was a RemovAid. That was also a class 2A product. That was like basically a company that was making the implant uh, for the women, basically. So that company was also very good. We can say that to manufacture the implant for the women, that was very good. I can say that support the basically women's healthcare. So that device was designed to make the contraceptive implant removal safe, easier, and more accessible, especially in the settings where advanced surgical tools or specialized training, they may not be available. So for example, how important I find that how important is to design the medical device with the empathy and real world in the mind. So women's health, they are very important. So that product where I was working, I felt proud on myself actually.
Because mainly when you are a female and working on women's health products, so you are really relating to that, I suppose.
Exactly. That's true. That working like as working in the RemovAid, but that was also very personal and meaningful dimension for me as well. Being a woman and a professional in the medtech field, like it was incredibly motivating to work on that product that was directly support the women's health. So I was feeling very grateful.
Great. What was your next position again? Because I think you had a complete change after that also again.
Yeah, then I was working as a consultant. Then
It's
I
good. So
started.
you moved to first you move from IT to medical device, then from manufacturer to other manufacturers, and to consultant. So you are making all
Exactly.
the all the experience there.
Yeah. So I can share that, moving into a consultant role, that is also a significant transition because when you're coming from in-house role at the startup, I work with High Five or RemovAid. So I was used to being deeply embedded in a single product and the whole company culture. But in consulting companies, everything is changed like this. You are supporting multiple clients, different technology, and a variety of regulatory challenges at once. Yeah, there are many challenges that I faced.
So what's mainly any standout project or standout client that you can share a bit or something that was really surprising? Because as you said, consultant, you are viewing a lot of clients, a lot of products, or a lot of things. So it's also helping, I suppose, also to accelerate your learning. But anything that was really surprising or that stand out from where your experience?
Yeah, actually, the biggest difference that is the pace and your mental flexibility that you need. Each client, they have the different stage. Some are designing their first prototype and they are and some are preparing the MDR audits, and some are preparing for the FDA submission. Then you have to quickly understand their context, their like a team dynamics and their maturity of the documentation basically. But I have really enjoyed that this diversity of exposure, because I work with the AI software, diagnostic, implantable, and many mobile apps. So all within few months. So this kind of variety that sharp your skill and keep you continuously learn. So I remember that there was a one company that they were preparing for the MDR audit, and the next day they had the audit, and their file submission that was not completed, and they have to submit the file. So at the moment, at the night, have to write so many documentation for them, and you can't, if you want to change one document, you have to change 10 more documents.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Everything is linked.
exactly. So yeah, in this way,
So mainly here, it's like, as you said before, you were focusing with one client, with one project, with one things. And here now you move to, if I can say, juggling with multiple clients, juggling with multiple deadlines, which is it better? Is it not better? So what would you advise mainly about that? Did you like it, or it was not a great experience there?
No, I can say yes, like, consultant life, that was definitely like, we can say, keep you on your toes. So managing, you have to manage the multiple clients and you have to manage their deadline, because that can be intense. But, I have to develop a few system to stay sane and organized. What I have learned that, first of all, my calendar, that they are the different color code, and I block them, like, okay, we have a meeting, we have to follow up. Secondly, whenever I do, I use the checklist basically. Okay, this is the checklist that I have to follow. I have to, for example, C marking submission, so audit prep and the gap assessment. Then the last one, that is a clear communication. If I set expectation early, so then I will withdraw, deliver when and what I need it from client. So that helped avoid the last minute surprises, and that also built the trust as well.
Okay, no, it's great. I mean, it's as I said, it's a different experience. So, and now you come back to no, a normal job with one client with everything. So, which is also great. Um, so maybe a question, because as you in the medtech, mainly quality and regulatory affairs, we have to face maybe some challenges with the internal company, with the teams, etc. I wanted to ask you, just as a woman, if I can say, was there any challenge for you, or you are really well accepted by everybody for this kind of job?
Um, I can say, for being a woman, or as a professional in the medtech or the regulatory space, like, they brought some unique challenges, but then also a great opportunities, for example. So I can share my idea, like, because when I moved from India to Norway, so the biggest adjustment, they were cultural and the communication related, because, no, in India, the professional interaction, so they tend to be more hierarchical, but in Norway, the culture is flattered. So then I learning to navigate their shift, especially in the meetings, when leading cross functional teams. They took some time, but it also helped you to grow as a communicator and as a leader. So as a woman, like in the medtech, and especially in the regulatory leadership role, so I have sometime have to work hard to prove my expertise, especially early in my career, because there are some moments when I was like the youngest person advising on compliance decisions. But those experience, they also made me stronger, more confident, and more committed to lifting others up. So there are the advantages as well. Yes.
Yeah, because as you said, coming from India, um, where the weather is more hot, if I can say, Norway, where it's really
Oh.
more cold, all these things. So I think it was, I suppose there was a culture clash here. Really, it was not like just, were you able to kind of navigate through this easily, or it was really challenging really at the beginning?
Actually, at the beginning, even now as well, is a
Okay.
challenging because the weather in Norway, that is like so much cold. And that's the only thing Norway that I don't like, I can say,
Okay.
because it's too much cold that you can't tolerate.
So, any maybe advice or anything that you will specifically say, or for maybe people listening to be more inclusive for maybe people coming from other countries or for other culture, etc. So, any advice maybe to provide that you say, oh, if they have done that to me, it would have been greater or whatever, etc., etc.
Uh, okay. So, if I need to give advice to them about uh, should they join this field or no, so
No,
I
no, no,
can.
no, no. Advice about including, being more inclusive for people that are maybe coming from other countries with
Oh, about the
different cultures,
inclusive
etc.
environment. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So that, inclusion start with how we hire, mentor, and empower the people, basically, especially in the cross-functional teams like QARA. So give diverse professionals the real visibility, leadership, opportunities, psychological safety. So inclusion, they should be treated as a part of your quality culture, so not a separate initiative.
Okay. So, in terms of that, yeah, because I suppose we have also in the audience people that are moving from one country to another and then arriving to a team that maybe they already know how to work together, and you arrive here and say, what should I do? Should I sit? Should I stay? Should I have a coach? Should I... Yeah, here like impossible to move because I have no clue what I should do. I mean, what is their culture doing here, etc. So yeah, maybe being more inclusive, also being yeah, understanding that people are coming from other cultures can be also really great.
Exactly.
Um, okay, I wanted to try something with you. It's the first time we do that with the guest mainly. So I wanted to ask you some questions which are like speedy, and you just answer one word or one sentence mainly to tell
Okay.
us more about you. And maybe I can stop to one and just say, oh, tell me more about that because
Okay.
etc.
I'll try.
So, mainly, I have just prepared some questions. One that is funny, I like it, but I want to really to hear what you will say about that. Um, so, do you have now that you talked about your job and your activities? So, any surprise or anything that would be surprising to tell about your job that you maybe people don't know at all, or even the one that knows you they don't know?
Actually, that's very creative. That you have to interpret the complex regulation and then turn them into the practical system. So that work for the real terms.
Okay. Any coolest device or gadget that you've worked on or seen?
Oh, I can say Cronus because that's the
What?
AI powered software that
What?
visualize the brain lesion growth through the MRI actually.
Okay,
So
so
it
the one that you are working on now, yeah.
that exactly that's true.
Okay, great. Any favorite? Ah, yeah, this one is also funny. So, any favorite quality and regulatory affairs acronym, and what does it mean for you?
Yes, that's PRRC. It
Ah,
sounds
PRC.
it sounds so official, but it's basically mean congratulations, you
Yeah,
are responsible for everything.
exactly. Yeah, you have to sign here. You have to sign here. You have to sign here. Yeah, yeah, it's true. Yeah, because people are saying, "Oh, I'm a PRC." I say, "Oh, good luck then. You are a PRC." So it's not really the best compliment here. Also here interesting, yeah. If you haven't done this job of QRA, whatever, so what would be an alternate career that you would have taken?
So I had probably be a educator or a motivational coach helping others that grow their knowledge and confidence.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
So complete. I mean, can you do that also with quality and regulatory affairs to motivate people also, or?
Yeah, for sure.
Um, oh yeah, this one. As you are in Norway and you come from India, maybe. So, is there any Norwegian word or phrase that you love? And if you can translate that to us, so something that maybe sounds a bit nice.
So that's like we can say "tak for sist." It means that thank you for your last time. So it's a warm way to reconnect with someone after meeting them before.
Okay, so can you repeat again? Tak to
It's
sist?
a "tak for sist."
Tak for sist?
Yeah.
Okay, tack for sister. Okay. So if I meet with the Norwegian team now, I say, okay, we had the second meeting. Oh, tack for sister.
If you already had a one meeting
Exactly.
before.
If I had one meeting first before. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If your career were a movie title, so what would it be?
Oh, I can say from code to care because that's my MedTech journey. So it
From
will
what? From
sum
what?
up the from code to care.
Okay.
It's a MedTech journey, like it sum up the path from IT to impact the patient safety.
Okay. Great. Oh, great. So thank you for that. Uh,
Oh.
okay. So let's to close now a bit what we are our discussion. So, um, if now you had to give some advice, if I can say to the people that are listening, to students or to also the people, because I have also that some people that are changing career, they were, for example, in the pharma and they want to come to medical devices mainly. So what practical steps should those people take to break into QARA? So mainly, what are the advice that you will say to them? Because I think also as you change from IT to QARA, maybe you have some advice here to provide. So what would you advise them to do mainly to be successful also? Because yeah, the point is here that they will not be they should like it already from the beginning, but to be successful to arrive to that.
Oh, I will say that's my favorite question. It's really a good one. For example, for anyone they're considering a career in quality and regulatory phase, whether you are a student or junior professional or someone they are switching the field. So my biggest advice, don't let the complexity scare you. Yes, it's a field with a lot of responsibility, structure, but it's also a full of purpose and the continuous learning. So just start by getting familiar with the basic. I always recommend that reading about the ISO 13485, MDR, risk management 62304, 62366. So there are basically great online courses, even free resources as well. So that can introduce you to the framework and the language used in the MedTech. You don't need to know everything at once, basically. Just start with the curiosity. Find a mentor if you can, but reach out to someone in your field. Even basically on the LinkedIn, there are, you can ask thousands of questions. Many of us, even though in QARA, we are happy to share what we have learned. And remember that your background doesn't have to be clinical or legal, because as I came from IT and it's actually helped me a lot. So just be ready to ask why and how we can do, just read in detail. So work with the people across like different department. You will never stop learning, but that's the part of beauty of this field, I can say, that you get to help bring safe, meaningful or innovation into the people's life, and that's incredibly rewarding.
I think one of the point is that the complexity. So um, yes, sometimes it's complex. So you have some legislation coming, etc., and you have to comply to them. But even for us that have maybe 20 years of experience on this, when the new legislation come, it's also new to us. I never had done that before. So and then people, because I remember at the beginning of MDR. I was trying to work with some manufacturers and they said, "Oh, are you an expert in MDR?" I said, "Nobody is expert in MDR. It was just published now, so
Exactly,
nobody
exactly.
has made any CE marking with MDR. It's the first time. So yes, you can say I'm expert because I know maybe more than others, but at the end we are learning every day also. So yeah, the point is here. The thing could be maybe complex because there is some rules or compliance information or legislation that you have to apply. But at the
Exactly.
end, we all are all learners, and we are learning each time, trying to. It
Yeah,
fails maybe sometime, and then you know why it fails, so you will not make the mistake again for another customer. So this is good for consultants, huh? Not good maybe for people that are in the one job. So for consultants, it's good because you learn with one customer and you will not make this mistake again with another one. So that's happening. So it's good. But yeah, as you mentioned, so the point is also not to be afraid and be curious also. And what I may be saying also to some people is that you have some time to forget what you have done before. Because sometimes what you have done before will block you to say, oh, I cannot move because I don't know what is the next step. I say, even me, I don't know what is the next step. So, but I have to move. So let's move and we'll see. If it's good, we continue. If it's not good, we come back and we change. So it's also this kind of things. In terms of also misconceptions, we talked about some misconceptions at the beginning. So, what misconceptions maybe they should not be afraid of when considering this field? So something that maybe they think, oh, I'm not liking that because of this, because we talked about paperwork, for example, or internal police, for example. So what misconceptions should we should try to break here to say no, you should forget that or should not consider that?
Yeah, as you said, that many people think that, okay, I'm not a legal advisor, I'm not a doctor, basically, I'm not a scientist. Can I work with it? So I will say that 100% absolutely you can work with it. So what matter actually that in most field that having a specific degree basically is having the right mindset that you should have. If you are someone who are detailed oriented, curious to know the things, organized, and genuinely care about safety and impact, you already have the foundation, I will say. So that technical knowledge and regulation, those you can learn with the passage of time, that you will not adapt like in seconds. That will come with the passage of time when you will give your time to this technical knowledge, you will learn it. Is if I will take my example that I came from the IT background. At the first, we can say we had no experience with the ISO standards and clinical evaluation report, we can say. But I learned by asking questions, taking online courses, staying open, and everyone in QARA, they start somewhere. So I will say, don't be scared of what you don't know today, but be excited about what you can learn and contribute. So QARA that needs diverse mind basically, from tech, engineering, project management, even design, because that's what help the create better, safe products for the real people basically. I can only say you don't need to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, if you don't start anyway, you will not be able to move,
Yeah.
and don't need to be perfect from the beginning. So, I mean, it's a journey. You have to learn, you have to go, and you have to think. So, it's not like something where you arrive already born, born with the knowledge, and you say, "Oh, I'm able to do this or to do that." But
Yeah.
maybe for some people also listening. So, anything that you will say, um, I don't know, I would not recommend this if you are like that. So, is this something that we can find?
Uh, I think if you have curiosity to learn something, then there is nothing that you can't do that. That if you have mindset that okay, I have to do it, so you can achieve that.
So mainly if you are here and just stay at your place without trying to be curious, it's to be difficult for these people then.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so I think I'm finished with my question. I hope it was fine for you. So mainly, yeah, as I said, the objective here is really that we are inspiring people to learn more about some jobs and positions. And I think you really explained everything with quality and regulatory affairs position, with the day-to-day activity and everything. So I hope. I don't know if this will inspire some people or it will make them afraid. So no, I will not
Yeah.
not go for that. But really, thank you again for this. It's really appreciated, and I hope we'll have maybe some people that will follow your steps, and maybe they can also contact you directly through LinkedIn. I will put your information on the show notes so that you can maybe get some extra questions maybe from some people that are willing also to go through this field.
Exactly. I will say that I'm always here to help you, as I have learned from someone that so I can learn you as well. So you are welcome to send me a SMS or message on LinkedIn. So I will answer your questions.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, Pardeep. So thank you very
Thank
much.
you so
Thanks
much.
for all
Thank
the
you.
time that you spent here. So thanks for all the information you provided, and I hope I wish you really a nice day. So
Thank you so much. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.